Ouch, was that a ghost?
Ouch. Was that a ghost?
With Liz?
And Lee.
Zoinks.
Zoink scoops.
I really like medieval torture devices, and I wanted to start doing a quick one before my episode every time because there's so many to cover. But I think it's kind of like draggy to do a whole episode on them only.
So you're going to do two stories. First
This
one's
is-
going to be a short on a medieval device, and then the second one's going to be your story.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay. So I'm going to cover the Brazen Bull. Have you ever heard of it? It was a torture and execution device designed in ancient Greece by a man named Paralis. He brought it to the Sicilian tyrant Phalaris. I'm really good at pronouncing this.
So you're definitely going to cover this, right? At some point, we're going to get through it?
Yes, I hope so. So the inventor, I'll just skip their names, proposed a newer way of executing criminals. It literally looked like a life-size bronze bull with the center completely hollowed out, and there was like a door on one side. The inventor was so proud of this feature, he added. It was an acoustic apparatus that converted the screams as they passed through the nostril of the bull. When people scream inside, it's going to sound like a bull is making a sound. Can you make the sound, please, of a bull?
What the fuck does a bull say?
So he explained how people could be locked inside the device and then the fire would be set underneath. So it would work like an oven, literally cooking the person to death. The inventor presented this to the tyrant. He was so proud of it, thinking he'd get a reward or be praised. And the tyrant was like, hey, show me how it works. So Paralis climbed inside the bull. And then the tyrant was like, hey, quick, lock the door.
Idiot.
Let's test it on him. So the fire was set and he could hear the animalistic screams. And when the inventor was almost like he was really close to death, the tyrant was like, open the door and bring him out. So they brought him out, and then he just brought him to the top of a hill and threw him off. The tyrant ended up doing a few modifications to this torture device. One was he added incense to make like this smoke that smelled like roses come out as these people were getting executed inside.
Nice.
And on his first execution that he did, he looked inside and he saw how the bones were really shiny, like jewels, he said. So he decided to just start making bracelets out of the bone fragments. And later on, this tyrant was overthrown and he was killed in this very device. That was it. It was just a little short. But there's so many funny, like...
So you're going to keep this going. You're going to do this every single episode that you do.
I am. I have so many I want to do.
All right. Hey, as long as you're not lying to our viewers.
I wouldn't. Oh, really? We're going to talk about liars? There's one person...
Well, I admit to it.
...that has their pants on fire on this show.
But I always come clean. Always.
You do. It's a haunting. No, it's not. I lied. Oh, okay.
All right. That was
ready?
good. That was really cute. I still don't know what a bull sounds like, but all right.
I don't know. I should know. I feel like everyone should know, but I don't know. If anyone could message us with their imitation of a bull, it would be much appreciated.
So appreciated.
You know what I'm thinking of is Benny the Bull from Dora. And what does he say? Hick, boom, ah.
Yeah,
you remember
I don't
that
think
episode
that's accurate.
of Dora? No? Okay.
I remember the bowl, like the orange bowl with like spots, or maybe not spots. I don't know, but
it was Benny the Bull.
Benny the Bull.
But I think he ended up having hiccups. That's how that episode ended.
Oh, okay. You have a very good memory.
Well, my son played it about 52,000 times.
Yeah, I don't really watch Dora. My son's into Diego. And now I just started playing, because I'm like on this mom group, so I just started playing Miss Rachel for him. And I'm picking up some sign language. Mama, da. And that's all I got.
That was Brad. Remember Mike used to teach it to his kids?
Supposedly it's beneficial, so we'll see.
Yeah, it might actually work. I don't know. It just seems crazy to me, but there probably is a reason that people are doing it.
There must be. I mean, personally, I think it's all just coincidental. Like, no shit, your baby's going to start talking, but hey, maybe it's Miss Rachel teaching him to talk. I don't know, but we'll see. It doesn't hurt to try. Well, that's great. Now I'm going to have a bunch of moms coming after me. Yikes.
Zoinks.
Zoink scoops.
All right, so the story I'm covering today is Carl Tanzler. He has so many different names if you look him up. It's George Carl Tanzler, Carl Tanzler von Kossel, Carl von Kossel. I'm just going to call him Carl Tanzler because that's what was on his death certificate. And it's the shortest. His name changed so many times. You'll see why. He's a sick fuck.
Okay. A sick piece of fuck. Got it.
Yes. What was McCamey?
It was a piece of fuck.
Piece of fuck. Okay.
Oh my god, I got so pissed at Brandon yesterday. I'm sitting there playing a game of 2K with Josh, and I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, I just want some silence to do this. But, like, I also didn't feel good because I've had the runs. So, I don't even know what where the story is going. Either way, by the end of the story, I got pissed because I farted, and I was like, and then they were sitting there complaining that it smelled. I was like, and I went to the bathroom to go poop, and then I'm sitting there like, you're such a piece of shit. You know, you're such a fucking asshole. You're such a piece of fuck. I was just so miserable because I didn't feel good, and he was sitting there complaining about the smell of my fart, and I had to poop again. I don't know. It was a bad time, but I used that phrase, and I will use it forever now.
I hope so. I like it.
Yeah.
Do you feel any better today?
No.
Have you been eating like really bland food?
No.
No. Okay, well, you're going to keep doing it to yourself then.
Yeah.
Ginger ale, crackers, banana. What is it, the rice diet?
The rice diet? I think so, yeah.
It's like...
Who can live off that? Come on.
No, it's not like rice. It stands for something.
No, I know. I know. They told me to do it with the baby when he had like a stomach bug, but... Well, actually, no, they didn't. Because he doesn't eat food yet.
So you're saying you lied. Okay, cool. So
I do know what it is, though. Maybe they told me to do it. I don't know.
Okay, I lied. All right,
so just tell the story.
Back to Karl Tanzler. He was born on February 8th, 1877. He was born in Dresden, Germany. During his childhood, he claimed he was visited by his dead ancestors, and he was shown visions of his one true love. He was a traveler. In the 1900s, that must have been so crazy, traveling back then. But he went to India, Australia, and the Pacific Islands.
They traveled by, like, horse, right?
Well, that's all. He would have had to go on water for those and stuff.
Oh, shit, yeah.
So, I don't want to give him any credit, because he's a piece of fuck. So, I don't want to say it's impressive to travel back then, but... So, anyways, he ended up in Australia right as World War I was started. I cannot say that. World War I. Say it.
World War I. World War I. World War I.
I always want to say, when I was little, I thought it was War I.
War, go.
I always thought when I was little, that's just what I thought it was in my head. So, as World War I started, he was imprisoned in Australia just for being German. So, we're going to fast forward to 1920. He was shipped back with his family in Rotterdam. While there, Tanzler got married to Doris Schaefer. They had 2 children together, Aisha, who was born in 1922, and Clarissa. Isn't that pretty? In 1924.
Sounds like a diamond.
Clarissa.
You said Clarissa. No, Clarissa. What'd you say?
Clarissa.
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 Nope.
Oh.
That's an ugly-ass name. I don't know who would ever be named that.
So Tanzler sailed from Rotterdam, which is southern Holland, to Havana, Cuba, and he made his way to Zephyr Hills, Florida. I've never heard of that before this story.
Zephyr Hills?
Yeah, in Florida. Have you ever heard of that?
Zephyr Hills, no.
So that's where his sister was already living, so he just went there and set up shop. And then eventually he sent for his daughter and his daughters and his wife less than a year later. He then left his family again in 1927, because remember the dream, he needed to find the girl of his dreams. He didn't want to be married to his wife, so he just left her. And he went and got a job in Key West, Florida as a radiology technician at the U.S. Marine Hospital. He started making good money, so of course he just started using the name Count. So he decided to like give himself a new name. He was Count Karl von Kossel now. Why, you ask? He just decided he needed a title now. And he got this...
Right.
All his weird delusions like started right here. He started telling everyone, I'm a count now and I have 9 degrees. And he was noble.
Did he have 9 degrees?
No. It was because in his dream, he thought that the person that his ancestor was visiting him and they were noble. So now he was noble. Stop asking questions, Lee, okay?
Okay.
So he had training to do x-rays, that was it, but he had no medical training. So he does look like a count. Have you ever watched The Umbrella Academy?
No.
Well, he looks like that guy, exactly. He looks like a lobotomy doctor or like a mad scientist. He just has that, like, monocle look with, like, that creepy mustache.
Yeah.
Someone that will be like, "Nah," when he's walking around. Yeah. So now we're in April of 1930. That's when he met a 19-year-old patient, Maria Elena Milagro
The love of his life.
de Hoyos. Yeah, she was a young Cuban-American woman who looked exactly like the beautiful dark-haired woman in the visions his dead ancestor was showing him.
Dun,
He
dun.
was immediately obsessed. She was his true love, and he was a count now, and he had imaginary degrees, and he was a nobleman. So he started acting like a complete dick. Like, he just had this huge arrogance around him now, and he got like a cane, and he'd walk down the street. He'd put on like
What?
fancy watches that he said like royalty in Russia gave him. What's funny is his wife and family members were interviewed in the future, and they were like, "Yeah, that's all bullshit." They were like, "He's not royal. Those degrees were all fake." He did actually have good money, though. He had a military pension from World War I, and he was getting paid really well at his job.
Damn, so they all knew. They all knew, and we're just like, fuck it, we're gonna roll with it.
Yeah, just do your
It's
thing.
just good old count. Like, okay.
Yes. So just a quick background on Elena. Her parents were Francisco and Aurora. The family wasn't rich by any means. Francisco made cigars and Aurora was a maid. Elena had two sisters, Florinda and Celia.
I love that
Elena,
name, Aurora. It's so pretty.
isn't it beautiful?
I love it. Sounds like a Disney princess. Aurora.
That
Wait,
is
isn't
her.
it? Is
Yeah.
isn't that Sleeping Beauty?
Yep.
I knew it. Oh, I'm good.
So Elena married Luis Mesa on February 18th, 1926. Luis sucked. He ended up leaving her after she had a miscarriage, and she remained legally married to him for the rest of her life. So Elena went to the hospital, like I said, where the count was working, and she was diagnosed with tuberculosis, which at the time it was basically a death sentence.
Right.
So Tanzler learned of her diagnosis, and this was not okay with him. She was his true love, if you remember. So with all of his self-proclaimed medical knowledge, he tried to...
Hold on a second. Hold on. They're not together?
No, he just...
married. She married.
She was married, and then she had a miscarriage, and her husband just up and left her. But after the miscarriage, she started having all these symptoms like stomach issues and went to the hospital. And then now this is where he meets her, and she's diagnosed with tuberculosis.
Yikes. Okay.
So he decided to try to treat her with anything he could think of. He brought equipment to her house. He'd like steal it from the hospital, and medicine. Everything was free of charge to Elena. And he started inventing ways to try to save her with contraptions.
Oh, man.
He would like charge oxygen electrons, and he was throwing gifts at her. And
what?
So Elena's sister ended up having a marriage ceremony, and the count was like, "Wow, I want that." So every night after that, he'd start proposing to Elena, and she was like, "Yeah, no, you're old, and I'm still married." I'll give you a quote from her. "You are too old. Why, you're old enough to be my grandfather. What's more, I don't love you." Like, he's just such a fucking creep. So at this point, Elena's mother was like, "Yeah, get out of here, you creep." That's probably verbatim. So at the hospital, he kept a wingless airplane to fly away with her when she was better.
What? A wingless airplane?
I'll send you a picture of it later, or I'll post it on here
I'm
too.
so confused. Okay.
And remember, he's still married with kids.
And was he planning on just kidnapping her? Because she made it very clear she wasn't going anywhere in this wingless plane.
Where this goes. So during all this time, the count was trying to save poor Elena. She was in excruciating pain. If he just let her pass peacefully, it would have been way more merciful. The tension between the family and Tanzler just got worse and worse. It's said that Elena died hating him, probably because when he was trying to resuscitate her with electric shocks, it was extremely painful, and she begged him to just stop and let her go. During all this, remember, he's proposing all the time, and he's buying her presents after presents, including snake oil elixirs. I'm thinking of like one of those, you know, like the old-timey traveling salesman sitting on a box?
Yeah.
Like, it's Pop's Magic Elixir. It's a cure-all. So some elixirs he brought to her had literal gold inside of them. I can't imagine that's good for your body.
No.
And he bought her this beautiful mahogany bed. Now remember, he's like 60 and she's like 20 now.
Dying, and she's getting a mahogany bed while his kids are at home like, "Daddy, more porridge, please."
It's Count Daddy. So
that account.
So can I tell you, the family was so creeped out by this, as you would say, piece of fuck. They even moved and didn't tell Tanzler where they went, and he would roam the streets at night.
What did he think how? Oh
He
my
was
God.
looking for him. So I'm just picturing him like peeking in every window. Like,
Literally, what in the world? What the hell is wrong with this guy?
It gets so much worse. So eventually, a sympathetic neighbor ended up telling him where the new house was. I don't understand. You'll see in this story, people sympathize with him. I don't understand it.
Why did the family keep letting him in?
Because they weren't really well off, and he was like, here's this machine, here's this medicine, here's this. I think that's the only reason.
Okay.
You know, because he was like throwing all this cash and
right.
And during this time, when he's doing all this, one of Tanzler's children, Clarissa, actually passed away from diphtheria at 10 years old. But this didn't stop his shopping spree for Elena and trying to fix priorities. So he kept
so messed up.
Journals of his life and creepiness. The passing of his child didn't even make the journal.
My God.
Even with this fake doctor doing his best, poor Elena ended up passing away of tuberculosis on October 25th, 1931 at her parents' home in the mahogany bed that the creep bought.
So at least she died comfy. Well, I mean, other than what he did to her, but she was laying in lavish.
Tanzler, who the family didn't notify when she passed, was pissed. He was like, if you only had come to me a half an hour earlier, like, no creep, go to your family. So the death certificate was actually filled out by the fake doctor, Count Tanzler, citing the cause as a series of violent seizures with dormant epilepsy.
Why?
I don't know how he just walks in and he's like, yeah, I'm a surgeon. And they're like, okay, here you go, surgeon.
Hi, I now write death certificates. I know you're angry, but I can do it.
So somehow Tanzler talked the family into renting Elena's room for $20 a month, or $345 today. And only a dozen people showed up at the modest funeral. Tanzler was one of the 12. Tanzler, of course, covered all the funeral costs, making sure Elena had a proper funeral and burial, sparing no cost. The family themselves were only going to get a wooden box for her. That's all they could afford. But Tanzler insisted on the best of the best for the love of his life. So he built Elena a mausoleum. It's like an above-ground burial site. It's like a chamber.
You can go in and see it. And
I always think of like New Orleans because of their water level. They do those so the bodies won't just come out from the ground.
Right.
He even engraved CT.D. Castle, like Countess Damsel. Like he's naming her a countess now because he's a count. And I guess she's royalty too.
And his wife knew about all of this.
I don't know how much she knew about this stuff. But this mausoleum had lights. So, of course, it had electricity as well. And, of course, it had a telephone installed in Elena's grave. So the family was fine with it, maybe because they were all mourning their daughter and sister. And he built an above ground one in Key West Cemetery. And he would go visit every night. I'm sorry, did you ask about the telephone?
I was getting to it.
It was there. So every night Tanzler could propose to her, like a marriage proposal. And every night Elena wouldn't give him an answer. She never accepted his proposal. So,
as expected.
Elena's family started to get a little creeped out by this, but they were like, I guess we'll let it slide because he footed her medical bill and burial cost. So now we're at April 1933, like a year and a half after Elena's passing. And Tanzler did his usual thing. He went to the mausoleum that night. And I guess this time he figured Elena was never going to accept his marriage proposal. So he went as usual, but he went and he just brought a wagon there and grabbed Elena's body, put it in there, like one of those red wagons, and brought it home. So
you said a year later?
A year and a half.
So he picked bones. Okay.
So, of course, decomposition was happening. So, obviously, he had to use piano wire to reattach the bones, and she needed some glass eyes. You asked about the hair that was falling out? Oh, he would collect it and reuse it. And then he called Elena's mom and was like, hey, do you have any Elena's hair? And the mom was like, sure, here's some hair. So he
Shut the hell up.
Picked that up and made her a nice wig.
Wait, why did the mom have her hair? What the fuck is happening?
The skin, you ask? Oh, he used silk, beeswax, plaster of Paris, and he stuffed her body full of rags to keep her in her original shape.
Oh my God, what is...
And he used coat hangers to prop her up.
Why did the mom have her hair? And
So
why would she just give it to... I don't get this.
so Elena would be dressed as usual. She had jewelry, makeup on, everything. The smell, you ask? Oh, he thought of that. He used perfumes, disinfectants to try to cover some of the odor. And he would use whatever he could find to help preserve the body. Where did she spend her days? Oh, in Tanzler's bed.
What?
And
Where was
Tanzler,
his wife?
don't worry about it. So Tanzler would sit next to her and serenade her as he started putting her in a wedding gown. So he put a small church organ next to the bed, so it would be instrumental as well as he's singing to her. And, she wasn't always in bed. She'd sit at the dining room table sometimes and have deep, meaningful
Oh
conversations
my
at the dinner
God.
table with him. So this sick fuck tried to animate her. How? Oh, he used UV rays, and when that didn't work, he brought her on an airplane. I don't know why it didn't work. So
What?
while Elena was lazily lying in bed all day, children would see what they thought was a life-size mannequin in the bed because Tanzler had a huge window in his bedroom, which you could see from the street. And word started getting around about the mannequin, and a child's parent even asked Tanzler about it, and he kind of brushed it off as a kid's inventive imagination. So he
Mhm.
said, hey, if you don't say anything, I'll buy you this new Model 48 by Ford. So within a few years, 6 parents of children in the neighborhood got brand new Ford Model 48s.
So 6 years later, he still had this thing?
Yep. So everything was going great in the Tanzler house until Elena's sister, Florinda, and her husband came by the love nest unannounced. And Tanzler, being the gentleman he was like, hey, here's your sister. He was so proud of how Elena was looking, but for some reason, Florinda was mortified when she saw her sister's corpse sitting up with the assistance of coat hangers. Now, remember, this is 5 to 6 years later, like after she passed.
Where the fuck is his wife? Where? Doesn't he have more kids? What?
He has one child, because remember, one passed when he was
Right, so
shopping
he
for her.
has one and his wife, and where the fuck are they? They're just like, oh, that's daddy's
They
mistress.
live over in Zephyr Hills, Florida, and he's in Key West now. So he
Oh,
just left them.
okay.
So Florinda ran out to get the police. The family got to have a second funeral, and by this time, news of Tanzler's delusional love affair has spread across the entire country. And if you remember, only 12 people showed up to original funeral, and this time around, 7,000 people. Whether out of respect or curiosity, the local schools closed early that day, so the teachers could bring them on a field trip to see Elena's body. The town is so gross. They literally wanted to put Elena in like a permanent display, but the family was like,
Why?
no. So thankfully, at least they didn't let that so they could leave the girl alone. Like the
Yeah.
funeral literally had a cover charge at the door. You had to pay 10 cents to go in and see her.
Oh,
So back to Tanzler, who was obviously arrested right away after Elena's sister alerted the authorities.
this poor woman just can't catch a break.
Seriously, she's like, no, get away from me, you creep. And this is all the stuff that... So during the court testimony, Tanzler actually had a lot of people on his side. He had sympathizers, and they called it an act of love. He literally had
6 years
fans.
later, it's still an act of love?
Yep. They would travel to give him treats. I don't know what treats are. And he even got offers to be represented pro bono from attorneys. Tanzler claimed that Elena's spirit would come and chill with him every night that he went to the mausoleum, and that she was the one that asked him to take her home. So he eventually complied with her requests. She didn't want to be in her grave. So it should also be noted that during the court proceedings, they discussed the count playing dress up with Elena, but Tanzler and her were married in his delusions, hence the wedding gown. And with the wedding comes consummating the marriage. And he used a paper roll that was inside of her, this sick fuck. Do you see why he's a sick fuck? Piece of fuck?
I don't even know what to say.
So Tanzler was charged with wanton and maliciously destroying a grave and removing a body without authorization. A psychiatrist was called to evaluate Tanzler, and apart from being in a borderline state, he was found mentally competent.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, I think I need to be evaluated after hearing this.
So due to the statute of limitations in that state expiring, the charges were dropped, and Tanzler only spent the 3 months in jail while he was waiting the proceedings.
What?
Tanzler to the judge was like, hey, if I'm not guilty, can I have Elena back?
Shut the fuck up.
The judge was like, no. So I've read this 2 ways, that the family decided to divide up Elena's body and bury her in 3 unmarked locations. Another one is that they did not dismember her and they just buried her in an unmarked grave that only 3 people knew the location of: the chief of police, the cemetery sexton, and the undertaker. And they took the info to their graves. So Tanzler would have no choice but to let her rest in peace.
That's
But
insane.
being the little bitch that he is, Tanzler went to the mausoleum and set up a bomb with a timer to explode it the night he left town. So he's now a free man. So he went back to Sefer Hills to live right near his wife and kids. Remember them?
Oh, good for them.
Where he would paint pictures of Elena all day and tell anyone that would listen about his true love. He even wrote a memoir and published it in 1847, The Secrets of Elena's Tomb. This would be used as a basis for 3 books published actually recently in 1996, 03, and 12. So another quick side note, which goes down a theory rabbit hole, which I didn't really dive into earlier. I'm just going to read a quote from the chief of police. Von Kossel, this is the same guy. He just has 5,000 aliases in his delusional mind. Von Kossel has told me once, I've spent my whole life roaming the earth searching for Elena. 50 years ago, she appeared to me in a vision, and she promised to be my bride. Now that I found her, I'll kill her if necessary to fulfill my destiny. It was also said that Tanzler warned Elena's father that there was not going to be a wedding. If there was not a wedding in the family soon, there would be a funeral. So there was no proof then, but a cottage in that same area was getting renovated and they were ripping walls down, and a confession note of killing someone was found in the wall. I'll read a little from the note and you can decide if this is his. She died because I gave her this subversively. I mixed a root of wolfsbane with aconite diluted. It was palatable, and my loved one departed this miserable world on October 23rd, 1931. Suffer no more, sweet Elena. I've sent you to the angels with my golden elixir. With my golden elixir. I'm not going to break down the components, but basically it will cause violent convulsions, seizures, and then kill you. And if you remember, he was the one that wrote up the coroner's report.
Right. What the fuck?
And where the note was found, there were also little bottles of, I guess you'd call them golden elixir. It was made up of 70% water, 20% gold shavings, and 10% of that concoction of wolfsbane and everything. So it would kill whoever drank it, but slowly. Back to Tanzler, who was found dead. He was found naked on top of an Elena mannequin that he made. And he had an Elena death mask on the doll.
One?
Yep, he was dead for 3 weeks before he was discovered. And the sickest thing I saw in one article, I'm going to really hope this isn't true, is that he found the unmarked grave and eventually switched the bodies and he had the original. I really hope he did not.
Shut the front door.
And it's been
There's
claimed.
no way he found it.
I hope not. I hope that was just nonsense. I hope she's just like doing her thing, relaxing finally away from this freaking creep. But it's claimed now that the ghost of Elena haunts the funeral home where she was made a spectacle. The poor thing, I really hope she's just resting in peace after being objectified, raped, and made a spectacle of by this
piece of fuck.
Yes.
What in the world?
But that is the story of Carl Tanzler.
I just don't understand how this man has supporters. Oh, it was all for love. We support the love. No, he killed her and then dug her up and then mutilated. Like, oh, why? How is this out of love? Why would you think that? Why would you ever support someone like this? You're a sick piece of fuck if you support him.
She's just a beautiful, sweet girl. And I guess she was really timid, but she sang beautifully.
That's so sick. That's so insane. Wow. I can't believe, I don't even know. Like, I'm at a loss for words. I don't even know what to say. I haven't heard of one like that in a while. Ever, I think.
So he's another one of our piece of fucks.
Yikes. Add that one to the list, huh?
It doesn't even sound real, does it?
No, I just don't understand why the mother had her hair, and I don't understand why she gave it to him. I don't even know what to say. I'm at a loss for words. That was a good story, though.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening. If you have a story you'd like us to share, email us at ouchwasthataghost@yahoo.com.
Don't forget to follow our Facebook page, Ouch, Was That a Ghost?